My most boring series, yet this is the most popular series I've ever created. This is if the Civ 5 civilizations existed in real life, and it was, instead of this history, we had the Civ 5 history. So we'll not be making these videos very long anymore. We just make these like 10 minutes long. We're going to update on every continent in this timeline. So no one has colonized this island yet, so the Sassoni will colonize these islands since Japan refuses to. Meanwhile, the Sassoni again say, you know what, we gotta get our revenge against the Polynesians, and they declare war on the Polynesians. The Polynesians were unprepared this time, and they are pushed back a lot. The war is going so badly for the Polynesians at this point that they're forced to push back all the way to here. They're also forced to push back to this coastline, and then this part of the Polynesian countries declares its independence as well. So this area declares its independence away from the Polynesians, and basically they now control a lot of this land here. This causes a lot of the Polynesian Californian colony to declare its own independence, as they did not really want to be a part of this war. So this country gains its independence, and this country gains its independence. The capital of this country will be down here, and the capital of this Californian country will be over here. They will finally gain their independence from the Polynesians as well. So, however, the Uruguay are having their own internal issues, with a lot of these northern portions of the countries vying for their independence. Uruguay leaders sent in to step in to basically quell the northern rebellions. This works as they're able to push back a lot of these northern rebellions as they're very unpopulated. This causes them to win in the rebellions. Nothing between the US and the Louisiana state at this moment. The Mayan state, however, has struggled to keep the Amazonian people happy. The Amazonian people declare independence. The Mayans can't really do anything about it, as they have always struggled sending troops down there. So this is now, the Amazon country is now an official country, and their capital will be around here. That's where the capital will be. Outside of that, nothing happens in South America. Europe, more wars take place. Spain declares war on Morocco to take back Portugal. However, the Portuguese are sick of being ruled by the Spanish in Morocco and gain their independence. They fight for their independence, and the Portuguese take back a lot of their land. And this causes the Portuguese state to become independent. And now the Portuguese is now still at war with Spain. However, Spain was pretty unprepared for this, and they start to lose a lot of land to Portugal. This is not very good for Spain, as they did pretty well against Portugal. They won the war against Portugal. As well as this causes several regions of Spain to declare their independence and become independent states as well. So this is a Catalonia and a Basque nation declare their independence and become two independent states. The Basque nation's capital will be here, and the Catalonian country will have its capital here. Spain was completely destroyed by this war and almost fractured into a million different countries. Meanwhile, Denmark declares war on Britain and finally takes back the peninsula, where the southern portion of the peninsula from Britain. This war, there wasn't really many people here, and the invasion is very swift and very quick, basically causing the British army to get out. Meanwhile, the Denmark also declares war on this tiny state, which used to be a part of Poland. They defeat it and is now a part of Denmark. The capital, which is the water city, is captured. Greece, however, has expanded so much that the instability in the northern regions get to them. A lot of the poorest countries, there's a tons of poorest rebels as well. They declare, okay, so tons of Polish rebels declared independence. Tons of Hungarian rebels and tons of Romanian rebels declared their independence. Greece was able to crush the Romanian rebels. However, the Hungarian rebels continued to expand as well, creating a large portion of land. And the Polish government that currently still exists basically is helping against it, with many European countries basically say, hey, Poland, what are you doing? There was also some Byzantine rebels, but they didn't do anything. So basically, the war, so the borders will be decided like this. Poland will get all this land here, and Hungary will now be an official country. They will now be an official country in Civ. So there you go. Hungary is now existing. Greece will still control this weird panhandle here. But yeah, that's it. Middle East, well, daily update in the Middle East. The Sinai Peninsula and Italy and Jordan declared its independence from Egypt. Egyptian government, however, was able to fight back against rebels and keep the land. Babylon, Persia also continues to have internal struggles because the problem is, with a country as big as Persia, Iran, and Mongolia, these countries are having lots of internal struggles. At the very beginning, like Mongolia, they can't really keep a hand on the Tibetan country. So the Tibetan country declared its independence from Mongolia, which again, nobody lives in this country. So again, what is Mongolia really losing here? One's a desert. So that gives it more interesting. Meanwhile, China is at war with Mongolia again, but however, China wins against Mongolia this time. Mongolia is a very unstable country. At the very beginning, they were very powerful, but they later become very unstable. This is a very bad problem, and China is nearing the doorstep of defeating Mongolia. And tons of countries start to break away, including a second Kazakhstan government, a new Stan government, which we can just call it. We can call it Tuva, which is this country right here. This causes Mongolia to basically be like, wait, we sort of not really done anything about this, and the peace treaty here is basically because of how it could be how Mongols were in real life. This country, which will be around here, will gain its independence. This will be kind of like how the Mongol Empire fell in real life. This country right here will be this color, and this other Stan country will gain its independence. This will be Tarapistan. This will be a completely original country as well. Tuva will gain its independence, and Yellow Horde will gain its independence. So Yellow Horde, which is basically another Mongolian government, another Mongolian tribe. This country's capital will be on this lake here. This country's capital will be over here. And this country's capital will be on Lake Baikal. Mongolia has been defeated, essentially. China will gain back a lot of its lands. So, yeah, China gains back its lands that lost to Mongolia very early on. Causing Mongolia to basically collapse as a government. Mongolia, of course, can rise again. These countries are not very, very strong as well. Nothing happens in Southeast Asia or Australia, as Africa. For once, the Zulus, however, try to declare war on Ethiopia again, but they actually win all this here, which causes Ethiopia to panic as well. But again, the Zulus might get too over cocky, like with the Mongolians. And that is it about this episode here. So a lot has changed in the map. A lot of independence, and no countries have fallen this episode. Here, we even seen a rise of new countries in this world as well. And now we're starting to see trade between North and South American civilizations. The problem with a country like the Zulus is that they're taking too much land before they can stabilize themselves. The citizens are very unhappy, like a Mongolia. Because again, happiness is a thing in civilization. Russia is trying to stabilize itself before it expands further into other nations. Or don't be like the Polynesians and try to actually expand when your colonies are neglected because of reasons. But yeah, that's about this video here. Goodbye.